my gurus. First two words. So you may have many gurus. It may not be just one particular guru. That doesn't mean you're supposed to revere all of them. So, without further ado, as the English goes, let's stop speaking English and start. Why? Oh, I should have started with a Mangalacharan, right? Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So, why should you learn to speak Sanskrit? That we should explain in English. Why should we learn Sanskrit? Oh, it's a bit noisy over there, huh? With the cutting potatoes. So, why should you learn to speak Sanskrit? A lot of people will tell you, what's the use? Well, you know, in modern society, there are more English speakers in India than anywhere in the world, right? That's sad reality. I mean, that's the reality. That's why they're all over here, IT professionals. So why should you learn Sanskritam? So the answer to the question, without making this one of those interactive classes I give, is that the Vedic literature is all in Sanskritam, number one. Number two, Sanskritam means culture. The word means culture. Su-Samskrita, very cultured. So in order to learn Vedic culture, you should learn Samskrita Bhasha, the language Samskrita. Maybe, could he move? Can you move a little? Because I can't see you. The camera is, but it's not your fault. Camera is blocking. Maybe over this side a little. Everyone else I could see without having to move like this. So it's a little bigger group. It is going to be interactive because the more you speak, the more you learn. So now you're going to get a chance to speak by see, repetition is how a child learns a language. When the first guru is the mother tongue, you learn to speak from your mother. Your mother taught you how to speak, whether it's Telugu, Tamil, Hindi, Nepali, English, Swahili, whatever. So you may have to repeat. The mother tells a child 100 times, eat, 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 sit, sit, sit. So you may think, why are we repeating these sentences again and again? Well, it's helping you to learn the language. Because when you want to learn a new language, you have to become a child. Because you don't know. And you need to familiarize yourself with the words. You need to familiarize. But if you cram it, there are some brilliant people, by reading and writing, they can learn a language. That is exceptional. That isn't the natural way. It's artificial, mechanical. Writing in Devanagari script is also mechanical. It's easy. I learned in 3 weeks in 1975 in Hyderabad how to read and write Devanagari. But speaking, and like I was 5 years in Hyderabad, I didn't learn to speak Telugu because we didn't have the proper guidance. Nobody told us that to learn Telugu, you had to speak Telugu. And Hindi was the language of the link in Hyderabad because it was under the Muslim, the Nizam, if you know a little of the history, which I don't expect any of you except for Mahotsaha and Vishnu Chitta here to know. But yeah, even Nepalis wouldn't know about Hyderabad. But the Hyderabad was under Muslim rule before independence of India in 1947, and the language of the court, the official language of the king, was Urdu, with an Arabic or a Persian script. I think it's Persian actually, not Arabic. And there were many Arabic and Persian words in Urdu, but mostly Urdu is actually Hindi. There's not a lot of difference. Even today in Pakistan, you've heard of Pakistan, the people speak the same language as in India. Basically, that's the link language. There are other regional languages in Pakistan like Punjabi, Sindhi, Baluch, and then what is that? Oh my God. Pashtun. That's the language of the Pathans. Pathans are fighting martial hill tribals. So, but besides those languages, and then there are dialects, there's Multani, there's Bahawalpuri. These are between Punjab and Sindh. There are some regional dialects. India has 1,000 dialects. Pakistan is India, by the way. By the way, the British divided the country. Anyway, this isn't the topic here. I'm changing the topic. So, don't think it's a waste of time to again repeat and repeat and repeat. You are learning by repeating these simple sentences. The essence of milk is ghee. The essence of milk is ghee. So this is Panchamritam, 5 nectars are in these 5 sentences. And the essence is the 3rd sentence, because that 3rd sentence will help you learn the words. You need to learn words. You have to build up your vocabulary. And then if you really want to learn how to speak any language, including Sanskritam, you need to be able to form simple sentences. I'm giving it all away, but it's good to know, right? In theory. Now, in practice, that's where it gets tough. That's where you're climbing the mountain or you're climbing the hill. Walking around Atlanta is like that. You got to go up and down hills, isn't it? I grew up where there are no hills, the Great Plains, Chicago. But this is not that. This is a hilly area. So climbing the hill here is with enthusiasm, you got to struggle. Because it's not going to come easy. It's not going to come easy. Same time, it will be very rewarding if you can pick up the language. You see, you don't need to know grammar to know a language. In fact, English grammar is taught to people who are already speaking English, isn't it? There's a false propaganda in India. This is for you 3. They don't know about it, the others. That the false propaganda is you must study Sanskrit grammar to learn Sanskrit. Not true. Not true at all. And here's the proof sitting in front of you. And study of Sanskrit grammar means memorizing almost 4,000 sutras of Panini's Ashtadhyayi, which Jiva Goswami what's the word? Not summarized, revised he changed the nomenclature to Harinam, the names of Vishnu. And so therefore it's Harinam Amrita, the nectar of the holy names, Vyakaranam, grammar. So the grammar is the same. The rules are the same. The nomenclature in referring to they're not rules even. Because Panini did not create Sanskrit. He did not create Sanskritam. He observed the spoken language and then he summarized it in these sutras in 8 chapters called the Ashtadhyayi, which I have not studied. I know about it, I haven't memorized the sutras. And not only you have to memorize those sutras, but then there's 2,000 verbal roots. And the one you know is budge, to worship. And do krin, to do. Do is from Sanskrit. Do krin, and the krin is karma. Everyone in this country knows karma. It's an English word, but it's a Sanskrit word, means action. Do krin karane is how they repeated the dhatu pat. The dhatu means a verbal root, pat means reading. So you had to learn the 2,000 verbal roots, you had to learn the 4,000, a little less, sutras to know grammar. And then that's just I guess that's graduate study or undergraduate study, then there's postgraduate, then there's PhD. There's the Lagu Shabdendu Shekara, the Brihad Shabdendu Shekara, and a lot of other grammar books that you and I will never read. I mean, I haven't read them in India in 49 years, and you have to be a specialist, like a cardiovascular surgeon, right? It's not, how many cardiovascular surgeons are there? There's a few thousand, right? But in a country of, 300 million, there's just a handful. Who can perform a heart transplant, right? Even the cardiovascular surgeon, there are specialists for that. Specialist and specialist and specialist. Forget about it. You don't need it to communicate. All right, here's one last before we start this. I went to Bahrain in 1976. You've heard of Bahrain? Just you two, three. That's it. Bahrain is an island off of the Arabian Peninsula where the Arab sheikh, who's the king of Bahrain, was driven out of the Arabian Peninsula by the father of the Saudi Arabian nation, Abdul Aziz Al Saud. Saudi Arabia is not the whole Arabia, right? Bahrain is a separate country. United Arab Emirates is a separate country. Qatar, where they just had this World Cup soccer, is a separate country. Oman is a separate country. Yemen, you might have heard these names. I don't know. Who knows these countries? Okay, good geography lesson here. So I was in Bahrain, and I was a fundraiser, That's what I've done in ISKCON for, Hare Krishna movement, for many years. And I was visiting a Gujarati gold merchant. The Gujarati business community, actually it's the gold merchant, gold worker, Sony. Some of them, they just made ornaments out of gold, and there was a community, which you know about. So I was sitting in his shop, and guess who walked in his shop? Who parked his Rolls Royce in the middle of the road? The brother of the king. Now, right? King's brother. So these Gujarati businessmen in those days, and these were the days before, English took over. They didn't speak English. They spoke Arabic. Did they go to school to learn Arabic? No. Here's another example from South India. You understand South India, right? No? You don't? Okay, India is like a big peninsula, looks like, sticking into the ocean, surrounded by three sides. So there's a community from North India. You've heard of Rajasthan? You've heard of Jaipur? So Rajasthan is a big area which is like semi-arid. Part of it is a total desert, which is now the border between India and Pakistan. There's the Thar Desert. So there's a community of businessmen from Rajasthan in every town in South India doing business. Do you think that they went to school to learn those languages? You can't do business in South India in Rajasthani. You have to know the local language. So my point in telling these stories is people learned by speaking. That's the point. There was only one train between South India and Ahmedabad. Didn't even go to Rajasthan in the past. Navjivan Express. And that's how the Rajasthanis used to commute to South India. Now there's a lot of trains and flights and cars. You can drive all the way. If you're very rich, you drive because petrol, gas in India is expensive. So anyway, we want to learn Sanskritam. 2 reasons: to become cultured, to learn Vedic culture, and to learn Vedic Shastras. To taste the actual language that the Srimad Bhagavatam and the Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita, were composed in. It's the logic. Why are we speaking in English? English is not the language of Vedic literature or Vedic culture. We changed our dress. We changed our name. Some of us changed our food. Right? We changed our religion, except for, you three. And you were born in a devotee family, so you didn't change your religion. We changed our religion. Of course, we're all children of God. We don't see the distinction. Anyway, why not change your language? Why not speak the language of the Gita, the language of the Bhagavatam? It's doable. It is doable. How much time did I take in all this? What can we do in 3 days? We'll do something. Introduction. I mean, there's a camp in India which a number of our devotees have taken part in, which is a spoken Sanskrit, some immersion camp. And from, 5 in the morning till 10 in the night, you speak only in Sanskrit. And you get 2 meals a day, no onion, no garlic. And you live there and you speak only in Sanskrit. So after 2 weeks, well, you can go for another 2 weeks if you want, but you're supposed to get basic conversational ability. But in the Peace Corps, it went on for like 6 weeks. That's what my brother told me. They really want you to know the language. 2 weeks is not enough. So what to speak of 2 days? And then they have these camps throughout India, 10 days of 2 hours a day. You've heard of that, right? They're here in the U.S. also, Samskrita Bharati. You've heard of it. It's an organization that's dedicated to spreading spoken Sanskrit. So what we hope, our hope, is that this devotion to Krishna. So should we start? So how do we start? You look at this. Each person we'll do, we call it in English, round robin. You've heard of that? Round robin means you go to everybody. So everybody get a chance to ask all 5 questions. And there'll be no English speaking. We'll only speak in Sanskrit. So you learn one by one word that comes in your mind. Now here, good is an example, but it's actually a blank. Good is given in a blank. So you have to come up with what you want to know. Now you're asking the question, you are not expected to memorize the answer. You won't be able to. If you write it down on a paper, you probably won't be able to. So just be satisfied. You can ask this again and again. This is just an introduction. If you want to write it down, there's no rule that you can't write it down. But practically, you don't need to. You need to speak. So there's going to be limited opportunity because you got a good group here. 2, 4, 6. Oh, ekam, dve, trini, chatvari, pancha, shad, sapta, ashta, nava, dasha, Ekadasha, Dvadasha, Trayodasha, Chaturdasha, Panchadasha, Shodasha, Ashtadash, Saptadasha, Ashtadasha, Ekona Vingshatihi, Vingshatihi, Eka Vingshatihi Janaha, Atra Upavishtaha. Eka Vingshatihi Janaha, Atra Upavishtaha. 21 people are sitting here. So, like that, on your own, you can Ekam, Dvai, Trini, Chatvari, Pancha, Shat. You can memorize the letters. And the alphabet, you have to look in the books. There's a Sanskrit pronunciation guide. And if you e, u, a, I, o, au, aha. One very important last before we start this. E, u. Forget the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, because you need to know how to pronounce also. Ucharanam. Lokanath Maharaj published a book about that, but it's not so popular. But Ucharanam, pronunciation. Try and remember that there's like the U in but, and like the A in far. E, u, a, I, o, au, aha. These are the vowels, swaras. You won't memorize it, but when later on, when you get time, you look in you're distributing the books, you have to know it's in the books. It's there in the pronunciation guide. It'll help you immensely to know how to pronounce the vowels. Consonants are easy. Vowels are tricky. Arabhyate. Arabamahe kim. Arabamahe kim. It just came like that. I didn't study the Arabamahe. But when you learn the words, familiarize, you'll get those forms. Hare Krishna. Yeah, you just recite the 5 sentences and see, this is a formal structure. It's the 3rd sentence. But by reciting this, you're learning the language. You're familiarizing yourself.
Oh, teacher.
No.
Friend.
The Sanskrit. Yeah, forget the English.
Mama Samskrita Jnanam Alpam Asti. Or Mama Samskrita Jnanam Atyalpam Asti. Sadhu iti Angala Padasya Samskrita Padam Kim Bhavati.
Right. Sadhu iti Samskrita padasya Angala padam kim bhavati.
Okay. Good iti
Angala padasya.
Samskrita padam kim bhavati. Sadhu iti Samskrita padasya Angala padam kim bhavati.
There's Chamadvam. You're the tech guy? So the camera shouldn't be on me, because the people are just you understand? If you can try and get the whole scene, I'll put the camera maybe up on the stage. And people who are watching, you got to do it gently. You just gave everybody a headache. No, that's also just me. Or you want to get panoramic as far as possible. I should be there also. And they should be there also. Yeah. Go ahead.
What should I do?
No. Words, not sentences. Words. Only let's go with the words. This might show both, but just go for a word now. This is the introduction.
Okay, so I go number 4?
3.
I read.
Sadhu iti, is that it?
Yeah.
Samskrita padasya Angala padam kim bhavati. 4.
Okay, 4.
This one you wanted.
Anugrihitosmi.
Okay, samaptam. That's it.
There's
You're
one
over.
more.
You're over.
Yeah.
Now I answer you.
Oh, okay.
You asked the formal question. Now you get the formal answer. Sadhu iti Samskrita padasya Angala padam good iti bhavati. No need of English now. Yeah, my coaching will end in English. It will only be Sanskrit, right? Okay, next person. So give everyone a chance. Go from person to person, you ask the same questions. But you can, instead of asking the Sanskrit word, the meaning of a Sanskrit word in English, you ask the meaning of an English word in Sanskrit. Because you know English, you don't know Sanskrit. Sanskritam. Right? That'll be easier in the beginning. Later on, yeah.
भो गुरुचरणाः कृपया भवन्तो मम क्षमन्तम्
Shamantam.
क्षमन्ताम्
Shamantam.
क्षमन्ताम्
It's not mom, it's mom.
Mom.
It's
Mom.
It's mum.
Okay, mom.
No, Mama, Rasva. Mom, Dirga. Rasva, Dirga. Short, long.
Okay. So भवन्तो मां क्षमन्ताम्
Sadhu.
मम संस्कृतज्ञानम् अत्यल्पमस्ति
Sadhu.
गुड् इति आङ्गलपदस्य संस्कृतपदं किं भवति
Anugrihitosmi.
Anugrihitosmi.
Anugrihitosmi. Sadhu. Book iti Samskrita padasya Angala padasya. Book iti Angala padasya. Samskrita padam pustakam iti bhavati. Grantam anyavish bhavati. Pustakam. Pustakam iti bhavati. Sadhu. Who has the mic? Okay.
Bho Guru Charanah Kripaya Bhavanto Mam Kshamanta Mama Samskrita Jnanam Atyalpamasti Hi iti Angala Parasya Samskrita Param Kim Bhavati Mudha iti Samskrita Parasya Angala Param Kim Bhavati.
Ekaha eva. Just one question.
Okay, one question. Okay.
Hi iti.
Hi iti Angala Parasya Samskrita Param Kim Bhavati Bhavanto Mam Varantu.
Anugrihitosmi. You forgot.
Anugrihi. Oh,
Yeah. Number 5.
Anugrihitosmi.
Panchamritam. Pratamam dugdam. Milk. Dvitiyam dadhi. Yogurt. Tritiyam gritam. Ghee. Chaturtaha madhu. Honey. And panchava sharkara jalam. Sugar water. That's the 5th one. Sharkara jalam. Sharkara jalam. Right. Water with sugar. Hi iti Angala padasya Samskrita padam saha iti bhavati. Saha. Saha iti bhavati.
Bo Guru Charanaha.
Bho.
Bho.
B-H-O. Bho.
Bho.
Right. You don't have to shout. I'm shouting, but you don't have to shout. I'm shouting to so that everybody gets it clear. Not because I want to be angry and shout, Bho.
Bo Guru Charanaha.
Charanaha. Charanaha.
Charanaha.
Charanaha.
Bo Guru Charanaha. Kripaya Bhavanto Mam Shamantam.
Shamantam. But you did close. Yeah. Go on.
Mama Samskrita Jnanam Alpam Ashti.
Asti. Ashti ne. Asti.
Asti.
Sasha, there's a difference. Asti. In Bengal, they say sha for sa. So it gets confusing. Bengalis, they mispronounce. Local practice was like that. It should be asti, not ashti. But in Bengal, everything, you'll get, anyway, there's other examples. But we'll leave it for now.
Tolerance iti Angala.
Tolerance. Tolerance? Okay, go on.
Padasya Samskrita Padam Kim Bhavati.
Chaturtha Panchama. 4 and 5. Backside.
Bhavanto Mam Vadantu Anugrihitosmi.
Tolerance iti Angala padasya Samskrita padam sahanam. Sahanam titiksha. There are many others. Sahanam iti bhavati.
Sahanam.
Sahishnuta. Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi. Sahishnuna. Sahishnuna. Sahanam. Sahanam. Vanantu.
Bo Guru.
Bho.
Bho.
Correct.
Guru Charanaha Kripaya Bhavanto Mam
Water is here.
Shamantam Mama Samkrita
Mama.
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 Mama
Mama ne. Mama.
Mama Sankrita Janam Alpa Asti.
Alpam asti.
Alpam Asti. Iti Angala.
No, no. You need to choose a word in English.
Oh, good.
How about this word? Here, I got a word
Okay,
for
come
you. Microphone. It's in your hand.
Microphone iti Angala Padasya Samskrita Padam Kim Bhavanti. Bhavanto Mam Vadantu Anugrihitosmi.
Microphone is actually a compound, but anyway, microphone, I'll give you two words. Microphone iti Angala padasya Samskrita padam Dhvani yantram. Dhvani yantram iti bhavati. Sound machine. Now that can be used for a speaker also, yeah. Dhvani yantram.
Po Guru Charanaha.
Charanaha.
Guru
Charanaha.
Charanaha.
Correct.
Kripaya Bhavanto Mam Shamantam. Mama Sanskrit.
Mama.
Mama Samskrita. Mama
Correct.
Samskrita Jananam Alpam Asti. Funny iti Angala Padasya Samskrita Padam Kim Bhavati. Bhavanto Mam Vadantu Anugrihitosmi.
Funny iti Angala padasya Samskrita padam hasya karakaha. Hasya karakaha iti bhavati. Hasya karaka, it causes laughter, right? There are many words, kautuka, I don't know, funny, but there are many words, I don't know all the words also, you know. Yeah, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Don't be embarrassed, you know, be a child. You have to pretend that you're a small child.
Bo
Foot has fallen asleep.
Guru Charan
Bho
Bo
Guru Charanaha.
Guru Charanaha Kripaya Bhavanto Mam
Mam. Bhavanto Mam.
Sharan
Bhavanto Mam. Vadantu. No, what is it? Kshamantam.
Shamantam
Kshamantam. Tam.
Tam
Kshamantam.
Right.
Mama.
Mama
Mama.
Sanskrita Jnanam Alpam Asti.
Correct. Samichinam.
Good.
Sadhu.
Good. Iti.
What? I couldn't understand. Which?
Come up with it.
Oh, good.
Oh,
You can say any word. It doesn't have to be good,
okay.
but it can be good.
Glasses. Iti.
Glasses. Okay.
Angala.
Angala padasya.
Angala
Padasya. Angala padasya.
Padasya.
Samskrita padam.
Sanskrita padam kim bhavati.
Bhavati. Correct.
Bhavanto mam.
Bhavanto mam.
Mam.
You can make a mark, a diacritical mark with a pen. It may not be there.
Bhavanto mam.
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 Bhavanto mam. Vadantu.
vadantu.
Anugrihitosmi.
Anugrihitosmi.
Glasses iti. Angala padasya Samskrita padam upanetram. Upanetram iti bhavati. Upanetra. Upanetra. Netra dvayam. Netra dvayam bhavati. Sarvesham manavanam. Manavaha. Manavanam sarvesham netra dvayam bhavati. But upanetra, yantra to bhavati eva, kintu upanetra. Microphone should be like that also. I mean, something, one word. Upanetram is one word, but there's this upa. Yeah, you want to try? He will try? Okay. You try first.
Travis, let's go.
Try.
Bo gu charan.
Bho, bho,
Bo
bho,
bo
bho. Bha, bha, bho.
bo
Yeah, in English there's no equivalent. So you got to learn it from scratch. Bha, bho.
bo guru chara ra na kripaya
Kripaya.
kripaya bhavanto ma shamantam
Kshamantam.
shamantam
Good. Sadhu.
mama samskritam
Samskrita.
samskrita jananam apam asti
Sadhu.
honor iti angala padasha samskrita padam ki bhavati bhavanto mam vadantu anugrihito shmi.
Kim Shabda Uktam? What's your word? Angala Padasya? Honor. 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 Iti Angala Padasya Samskrita Padam. Sanmanam. Sanmanam. To honor someone? Is that it? Sanmanam iti bhavati.
Or to have honor.
To respect is manaha. Manaha. Manadena. To give respect. Manadena. But honor, fame is kirti. But honor, sanmanam. Okay, so one more. No, there's another. Then the ladies.
I got it.
Bo, bo,
Bho.
po,
Bho.
po,
You got it.
bo, po,
Bho.
bo,
Bha.
po,
Bho. Bho.
po.
It's not poet.
No,
Bha. Bha.
ba,
Bho.
bro,
Yeah.
bro,
No, the BH sound. Bha.
bro,
Bho.
bro.
Right.
Right.
You got it.
Behold, Guru Sharanaha Kripaya Bhavanto Mam Shamata Mama Sanskrita Jana
Jnanam.
Jnana
Jnanam.
Jnana Apam Asti Happy Iti Angala
Happy.
Happy Angala Padasya Sanskrita Padam Kim Bhavati. Bhavato Mam Vandatu
Vadantu.
Vadantu
Right.
Vadatu Anugrihito Smi.
Anugrihitosmi. Happy iti Angala Padasya Samskrita Padam Sukhi iti bhavati. Saralam Sukhi iti bhavati. So there's two brahmacharis in the back. Somebody want to give them the mic? Can they don't have the paper also, I think. You want to try? Can you give up cutting whatever it is you're cutting? Looks like apples or something. Carrots or...
Bho Guru Charanaha
Charanaha.
Charanaha Kripaya Bhavantu Mam Kshamantam
Bhavanto
Mam
Kshamantam.
Kshamantam
Om.
Mama Sams
Mama. Mama na. Mama.
Mama Samskrita Jnanam Alpam Asti Du iti Angala Padasya Samskrita Padam Kim Bhavati Bhavanto Mam Vadantu Anugrihitosmi Anugrahitasmi
Anugrihitosmi. Strinam krite anugrihitasmi. Purushanam krite anugrihitosmi. Du iti angala padasya samskrita padam. That's done. Krita is done, right? Kuru. Nahi, kuru is an order. Do, to do. Karma. Karma iti bhavati. Karma. Action. Do. The other one is busy. Yeah, he went inside. Okay, give the ladies the mic. You want to try, Prabhu? Okay, he'll try, then we'll give the ladies.
Hare Krishna. Bho Guru Charanaha Kripaya Bhavanto Mam Kshamantam Mama Sanskrita Janyanam Atyalpamasti Alpamasti.
Ubhayam, both. Ati alpam alpam, same. Both are okay. Either is okay. But both of them are okay. Yeah.
Man iti Angala Padasya Sanskrita Padam Kim Bhavati.
Bhavanto
Mam Varantu Anugrihitosmi.
Right. Man iti angala padasya samskrita padam manavaha iti bhavati. Nahi, manu nahi, manavaha. Manushya manavaha. Purusha. So now, one interjection. When you are advancing in this, you won't need the paper anymore. When you are advancing, when you can memorize these without looking at the paper, that's what is it? The first step in advancement. Just saying. If you can't do it without looking, don't struggle and try. Look. But you'll know that you've got this method down when you can, memorize these 5 sentences. This is a particular method that, you immerse yourself. Yeah.
Bho Guru Charanaha Kripaya Bhavanto Mam Kshamantam.
Close. Was good.
Kshamantam.
Yeah.
Mama Samskritam Jananam Alpam Asti. Peace iti Angala Parasya Samskrita Param Kim Bhavati.
Peace iti Angala Padasya Samskrita Padam Kim Bhavati.
Bhavanto Mam Varantu.
Thank you.
Anugrihita Anugrihita-smi.
Peace iti Angala Padasya Samskritam Shantihi. Shantihi iti bhavati. Agre, ahead. You are a child, so it should be easier for you. But you're not a small child. You're a big child.
Bo Guru Chana.
Bho Guru Charanaha.
Bo.
No? Ba.
Ba.
Bho. Bo is not bho. There's a difference. Bo is easy for English speakers. Bho Guru Charanaha. You don't have to shout, I'm shouting to instruct everyone.
Baho.
Baho nahi, bho. One sound. Bho.
Bo.
Yeah. Good.
Bo.
No. Bho. All right, skip it. Go ahead.
Guru Chana.
Yes, good. Sadhu.
Kripaya bhavanto mam shatam
Kshamantam.
shamantam
Good. Sadhu.
mama sankita yanam alpam asti.
Sadhu.
Bracelet iti.
Bracelet? Bracelet? Okay.
Bracelet iti angala padasya sankita padam kim bhavanti. Bhavanto mam vadantu angritasmi.
Anugritasmi. Bracelet iti angala padasya samskrita padam kim? Kundalam nasti. Hasta, boy, you got me on this one. I'm just trying to think. Hastapattika vaktum shakyate. There's a word, but kundala is earring. That's close. Anyway, it's okay. Abhushana, hastabhushanam. Abhushanam is an ornament. Abhushanam. Hastabhushanam. A hand ornament, bracelet. Yeah, Mataji. Kankanam iti bhavati. Hastakne kankanam. These idrisha shabdaha prayogaha alpa bhavati. Pratidinam asya shabdasya prayogaha na kurvanti kadachit bhavati. Kadachit kurvanti. It's not used daily. Yeah. Therefore.
Po Guru Sharana Kripaya Bhavanto Mam Shamantam Mama Samkirta Yana.
You have to hold the mic close so we can hear you.
Okay. Alpam
Asti.
Okay. Water. Ite Angala
padasya.
Angala padasya.
Sanskrita padam.
Sanskrita padam kim
Bhavati. Kim bhavati.
Bhavantu mamam vadantu.
Vadantu. Vadantu.
Vadantu.
Sadhu.
Okay. Anu.
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 Anugrihitasmi.
Anu.
Anugrihi. Anugrihi. Tasmi. Water iti Angala padasya Samskrita padam jalam iti bhavati. Jalam. Toyam sardashatani shabdaha. Sardashataha shabdaha bhavanti. Santi. Bhavanti naya. Santi sardashata shabdaha santi. Jalam krite. Niru apaha jalam paryaptam. Just learn one word.
Po Guru Charanaha Kripaya Bhavanto Mam Shamantam.
Sadhu. Shigram eva vaktavyam. Mandam mandam naiva. Shigram.
Mama Samskrita Apam Asti.
Sanskrita jnanam.
Jnanam. Samskrita Jnanam Apam Asti.
But you're reciting quickly, so that's appreciated. You picked it up. I shouldn't say in English, but
I do have a question. I can ask this in English because I don't know any other way to ask it. Is there a difference when there's an M at the end of Samskritam or Samskrita? Does that change anything?
yeah. It's the object, the subject of the sentence and the object of the sentence. Samskrita, subject of the sentence. And the M, when it comes in the end, is the object. Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So Govindam is the object of the sentence. So you're to Govinda. Bhajami, I worship to Govinda.
Oh, thank you. I love you, iti angala.
No. I love you is a sentence, only a
okay.
word. You can say love.
Okay.
Love. Love iti.
Okay. Love iti angala padasya samskrita padam kim bhavati.
Right.
Bhavanto mam vadantu anugrihitosmi.
Anugrihitasmi.
Anugrihitasmi.
Right. Love iti Samskrita padasya Angala padasya Samskrita padam prema iti bhavati. Prem is Hindi. Prema. Premane, prema. Vadanto. Wait, one question was there. Yeah.
Yes, so you mentioned Govindam Adi Purusham.
Right.
Instance of Govindam being the object.
Right.
Can you please give an instance of the subject of the sentence?
Right. Govindaha Lakshmim Pashyati. Govinda sees Lakshmi. Or Govindaha Balaramam Pashyati. Govinda sees Balaram. Right? So Govindaha. Krishnaha Balaramam Pashyati. Balaramam. He sees Balaram. Yeah. Go ahead. It will take time to get it.
Bo Guru Charana Aha Kripaya Bhavanto Mam Shamantam.
Kshamantam. Otherwise, very good.
Okay.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Mama Samskritam Samskrita Yanam Alpam Atyalpam Asti. Sweet iti Angala Padashya Samskrita Padam Kim Bhavati.
Seat?
Sweet.
Sweet. I heard seat. Sweet. Okay.
Sorry. Okay. Iti Angala Vakyasya Samskrita Vakyam Kim Bhavati Bhavanto Mam Barantu Anugri Tashmi.
Sweet iti Angala Padasya Samskrita Padam Madhuram. Now, the thing is, you're not asking about a sweet meat. You're asking sweet. It's very sweet sound. Madhuram. But if you're asking about a sweet meat, like a laddu or a sandesh, then it's madhurannam. Madhurandam iti bhavati. So when you say sweet, but in English it can mean either one, right? Could be a chocolate. Oh, carob. Or it can be a burfi. What is it? I ate 2 of them. I shouldn't have. Cheesecake. That's a sweet meat in English, but usually they just say sweet. So madhuram, sweet. Madhurannam is a sweet dish or a sweet, to eat, edible. Mishtannam, madhurannam. Yeah, mishtannam. Mishti is Bengali, right? Madhuram. But Madhuram is, the song was sweet, right? Or our meeting was sweet, right? In that sense. Right. Someone who has a sweet tooth, Mishti Mukhi. Mishti Mukhi is his mouth like sweets. Yeah.
Bo Guru Chanaha Kripaya Bhavanto Mam Shamantam Mamam Samskritam
Mama
Samskritam
Samskrita
Dhyanam Alpam Asti. Friend. Yes. Iti Angalan.
No, it's okay. See, you should say the words again and again, actually. But it's nice to know different words also. But it's nothing wrong. Yeah. Go on.
Angala Paryasya Samskrita Padam Kim Bhavati. Bhavanto Mam
Bhavanto Mam
Vadantu.
Anugrhitasmi. Anugrhitasmi.
Anugritasmi.
Friend iti Angala padasya Samskrita padam mitra. Mitram. Bandhuhu mitram iti bhavati. Bandhuhu, right, good. No? Why? Exemption. Tax exemption. No exemption. Bolo. आपने ये कितने दफे सुन लिया, अब याद तो है, याद नहीं है? Tadrishaha jivanam. Life is like that. Mama ruchihi asti. Mama ardanginyasya ruchihi nasti. Kim karomi? Kutra gantavyam. Tadrishaha bhagyam mama. Asmakam bhagyam tadrishaha. So we completed 1 round, right? Yeah.
So, if we were to say no discussions in English, so is it Angalena Samvadam Nasti?
I think at the bottom are those sentences given.
Oh, right. Kripaya maya sakham kevalam samskritena vada.
Is it
Right.
Vada or Vada?
Vada. Vada, speak. Vada is a preposition.
Samskritena
Vada, to speak.
Samskritena sambhashanam kurvantu. So how do you say English? Anglena sambhashanam na kurvantu.
Mastu. Angala bhashya dvarena vyavaharaha mastu. Kevalam samskrita dvarena vyavaharaha kurvantu bahuvachanam. Kurvantu. Karotu ekvachanam. Adarartham. Honor. Honor. Adharaha. Adarartam bahuvachanam. Tadartam atra Bho Guru Charanaha. Charanaha Bahuvachanam, plural. In Sanskritam, when you want to show respect, you use the plural form. Guru Charanaha is, oh Guru, you're talking to your teacher, oh teacher, but you're addressing him as teachers. Why? For respect. So that's part of the language.
Isn't Guru Charanaha also mean the lotus feet of the spiritual master?
Exactly. Yeah. Charana, Guru Charana, the feet of the Guru.
Guru Charanaha.
These are honorifics. In English, we call it honorific. You've heard of that?
Yeah.
To show respect. To show respect. Prabhupadaha. There were murders in the Gaudiya Math. I mean, violence. I don't know. You should not. Prabhupada is only for this one, that one, and the other one. But it's actually just an honorific. You're just showing respect for someone. You're not starting a personality cult, but personality cultism is innate in human society. I can't sitting here say, stop it. It's like that. We make somebody into a demigod. That I think in a lecture, no, in a lecture I was, it was there. Over there, I was giving the lecture, and I was, remembering a pastime of Prabhupada. He gave 4 people sannyas in 1971. And immediately those 4 people started traveling and saying, Prabhupada is God. Yeah. So Prabhupada expelled them. You're no longer part of our society. He was so angry. I am not God. But we make Prabhupada into a God. Because people will say, Prabhupada should only be used for Bhaktivedanta Swami. Same thing his godbrother said about, why is he using Prabhupada? It's only for Bhakti Siddhanta. But actually in the Sanskrit language, when you learn the language, you understand that the culture, Vedic culture, was to amanina manadena, show respect to everyone. So respectful words were used. Guru Charanaha, Prabhupadaha, Vishnu Charanaha, Vishnu Padaha, Bhagavat Padaha, Adi Shankaracharya, not Gopal Krishna Maharaj, but Gopal Krishna Maharaj. They started calling him Bhagavat Pad. But it's ancient, just to show respect. But people take it and make it into a personality cult. It's a funny thing. There are other words that, right? Tirthapadaha, right? Vishnu Padaha, Tirthapadaha, Guru Padaha, Guru Charanaha, Sri Padaha. Sri Pad is, Prabhupada used it many times in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Shrimanaha. Yeah, there are many. Shrimatihi, Shrimanaha, Shrimatihi. Chiranjivinaha, Chiranjivi. Vidyabhu. These are all right. There are many such Vidyabhushanaha. It's an honorific. That's all it is. They made one up, right? Mahamahopadhyaya. There was never such in Vedic literature. Upadhyaya is there, but Mahamahopadhyaya. You can coin words like Dvani Yantram. It's a coined word. There was no Dvani Yantram when Shukadev, Sutta was speaking to 5,000 on the bank of the Ganges, bank of the Ganga. There was no Dvani Yantram. To speak to 21, there's a Dvani Yantram, and to speak to how many? 80,000. No, how many sages were in Naimisharanya? Was 5,000 or 80,000? Anyway, whatever. Thousands, right? Thousands. There was no mic. How is that possible? How is it possible? But today, we can't see it possible, but at the beginning of Kali Yuga, end of Dwapar Yuga, maybe they had a very strong voice. Like here, this Mataji had a very strong and, right? And here all some of the men, fatafat, quickly they spoke. Some struggled like anything. It doesn't mean you're greater or lesser, but some people have very powerful voice. They don't need the mic. Anyway, there are many adbhuta. Wonderful, nobody asked that word. Adbhutam. Adbhutam. So it's almost 9, I think. We can wind up for today. We use this same method. The thing is, it's not one-on-one and it's a limited time. But you got something out of this, right? Yeah. You got something. So it depends on how deep you want to go. First learn words, then you learn sentences. And if you can form sentences in your mind, you've got the language, you got it. The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plain. Oh, you didn't see that. My Fair Lady. You ever heard of that movie? Who saw that movie? 1, 2. Just us two. So the movie, this will break the monotony of what we were doing. This will break the monotony. So there were 2 English gentlemen. They had a competition. I will train a woman from the lowest class to make her a princess type of thing. So, there's a labor class, right? In India, in Tamil Nadu, you have this, what is it? The women and the men also who make flower garlands. They're considered low class. Not the lowest. The lowest were the people who picked up feces, right? Who picked up stool. Well, Harijana that was Gandhiji. Anyway, you can, someone who was working in the vegetable market. I used to go in Baroda in the vegetable market, and people are rough. Not violent, but they speak roughly, right? Anyway, the movie was like this. He was training her to speak. So he said, speak this. The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plain. The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plain. Or whatever it was. I can't remember the whole accent, But it was hardly intelligible. But he made her repeat this again and again and again. And then it became a musical. There was a song. But, there's different qualities of language. There's different qualities. In Samskrita Bhasha also, there's a very simple Sanskrit. Like Valmiki Ramayana is considered easily understandable Sanskritam. Some passages are tough. Then in the Bhagavad also, there are some simple, in the beginnings, quite simple. The first 3 verses are tough, but then it's quite simple. But then you get into very complicated language. Now, here's the example in English. If we were to go right now into the university physics department and hear a lecture on quantum mechanics, we wouldn't understand. Because quantum mechanics has to do with very difficult mathematical calculations. Couldn't means I didn't cut the mustard, as the English saying goes. Calculus and trigonometry, I never studied that. So it's in English. It's in English. You go there and you listen to lecture, you won't understand a word. So there was a book written for general public to understand quantum mechanics. What was the name of that book? Oh my God, I'm forgetting. I read half of it. I didn't even finish the book. The Dancing Wu Li Masters. That was it. You heard of that book? The Dancing Wu Li Masters was written by a quantum mechanics professor who wanted to communicate the theories of quantum mechanics to the general public. Quantum mechanics has to do with the soul because, the soul is the smallest of the small, right? Anoraniyam mahato mahiyan, smallest of the small and greatest of the great. These shlokas are there in the Upanishads, shlokas, mantras in the Upanishads. So yeah, you have to start somewhere. If you want to learn Vedic literature in that original Sanskritam, you have to do this. Like a child learns from his mother. You have to do this. But if you don't do it, you can still get liberation. People say that. I don't need Sanskrit to get liberation. That's a fact. You don't need anything, just the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Ajamil studied Vedas, and he gave it up and became a rascal and a rogue. And at the end, because he named his son Narayana, then he said Narayana, and he remembered Vishnu. So yeah, you can go that path, but it's not so easy, yeah. It's not so easy. Yes, Prabhu.
So, in the process of trying to compose sentences or trying to speak with each other, how do we know if we're saying it correctly or not? Because there's no teacher.
Yeah. You have to associate with the people who speak Sanskrit, that's for sure. So why don't we do one thing? Can we use this TV tomorrow? Yeah. And I'm going to show you a lecture of Sringeri Shankaracharya, recorded 10 years ago on the glories of Sanskrit. And the language that he uses, if you know Sanskrit, you will cry. It's so fantastic language he uses. Really beautiful. No Advaitavad. Only the glories of Sanskrit. They see Buddhist literature is in Sanskrit. Jain literature is in Sanskrit. No, not all of it. Just like Vedic, Gaudiya Vaishnava literature is in Bengali, but the original in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Shruti Praman, a Praman Pradhan. So even Chaitanya Charitamrita says that the Vedic evidence from Vedas is the topmost evidence, right? So we're distributing Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is a funny thing. We're distributing Prabhupada's books, but revisionists, they want to change the philosophy. Why? Because they adopted, you wear this dress, but you adopt another philosophy. See, what if I'm sitting here and saying it's all right that we all drink a bottle of wine right now? Then you'll be shocked, of course. But there are people that do that. Not me. I hope not. Can ask her. But you understand what my point, I'm trying to make a point. I'm trying to make a point. Just because you're dressed like this, you know, there was a TV show. I don't think anybody here, who's old here? I'm the only old person. You heard of Ed Asner? So there was an Ed Asner show. You can go on YouTube and see it. So in one of the shows, there was a Hare Krishna devotee. And, you know, he deals with Ed Asner. There's a Facebook group, Hare Krishna in the movies, by the way. So, yeah, if you go, Ed Asner recently passed away. He was like 93 or 94, whatever. He really lived a long time. My mother personally knew him, but my mother never made it. He had his own TV show. So in the show, they had an actor play a Hare Krishna devotee, right? Bhakti Charu Maharaj made the life story of Prabhupada as a TV show. Did you see that, Abhay Charan? You know, my mother was an actress who never made it, right? I said on Sunday in the lecture, and John, who's so nicely invited me to his house, by the way, tomorrow night. John is an aspiring actor at the age of 67, 68, which is how old I am. He's a month younger than me. We were talking. So my mother was an actress who was in the Union. Oh, God, wait a minute, I lost the thread in my head.
Someone was playing.
Oh, Abhay Charan. So my mother was an actress who was in 3 unions, SAG, Screen Actors Guild, AFTRA, they've merged now, SAG, AFTRA, American Federation of Theatrical and Recording Artists, and Actors Equity. So what's the difference between a card-carrying member of the actors union, which is what SAG, AFTRA, and an extra, right? You see these movies with people in costumes and they don't say anything. They're paid $100 or whatever it is. Today it might be more, 125 or 100, I don't know. They pay them on a daily basis to dress up in a costume and stand there and maybe, you see these scenes in the movies where there's people talking at a table in a restaurant and the restaurant's packed. They're all extras who are pretending to eat and talk, right? That's how the movie business runs. So, Abhay Charan, made by Bhakti Charu Maharaj, the life story of Prabhupada. My mother spent her last 1.5 months with us. She was fully mobile, conscious, but she was old and ailing. She was obese. That was the main problem. Way overweight. But she was able to go to the shop. She was able to go to the market, this thing, that. So I had a little, a Macintosh, an Apple Macintosh computer that I bought in Miami in 2004. This was 2007. 2008. She came November 30th, 2007, passed away January 14th, 2008. So the last 1 month of her life, she watched this Abhay Charan. And she said, I never knew about Prabhupada's life. So it's good in that, but he said it was poorly made. Is that going out still? Did that go out? I don't want that to go out in the public.
Oh, it's still recording, yeah.
Oops. I hope nobody sees it, That comment, I don't want that to be public. Well, yeah, finish it. Yeah, anyway, I don't...